just want to brief you about Leet Capital in terms of if you've never invested before. I'm guessing 70% of you may not even have an account with us. Just want to quickly walk you through the process of what it entails to invest into a company on an ECF platform and how simple it is. So the steps basically to register as an angel investor or any particular investor on our platform is, first step, just go to leet.capital. That's the website. It's a brand new kind of domain name. So there's no .com, it's just leet.capital. Select sign in if you've got an account. If you don't have an account, of course, you click register and you provide us your details. So when you register, there are two kinds of modes you could register on, whether you want to raise money, and that's what we call an issuer. But in your case, if you're an investor, you say you want to invest. And when you invest, you will give us your typical registration details like your phone number, email, and a password to the site. And then there'll be specific things that we have to do from being a regulated platform. We call that KYC, where we have to make sure that you are who you say you are. And that basically means giving us details, your national identification cards, and also pictures of it back and front. And this is where we will actually on the back check to make sure the names and the ICs match what we see in that particular picture of the IC back and front. And some of the automation is basically going to check this for us. So there will be a quite delay for you to invest because we go through this process and it has to be vetted by us before we allow you to make your first investments. Also, as part of you registering, you need to kind of qualify yourself in terms of which bucket do you belong to when you say you're an investor. Everyone can be a retail investor, and what that basically means is you have a soft cap of 5,000 ringgit per deal. But if you want to go beyond that, it gives you a warning statement just so you're aware that as a retail, you shouldn't be exposed too much into a deal, but you can basically do more than 5,000 ringgit. There is a cap though for retail of 50,000 ringgit, and it's entirely for a year on a particular platform like us. So we do have a dashboard where you can see how much you've been exposed to. And when it hits that hard limit, we basically stop you for that particular year. Now, in terms of the other categories of being an angel and a sophisticated investor, that's defined by the guidelines of the Securities Commission of what it means to be an angel, where we talk about no less than an annual income of 180,000 ringgit. And for sophisticated, it's basically personal assets exceeding 3 million. So to be in those categories, what we do ask for is proof. So you either send us, if you want to, a bank statement. It could be your pay slip, which what most people would basically use, or it could be a statement of your current holdings within Bursa to show what your net assets basically are. So you could choose what you basically need to disclose for you to go into a certain kind of bucket. Once that's done, your account's created, you get access to a dashboard to show you, based on your retail, how much can you invest and how much you've invested. And all the statements and updates of a particular portfolio will all be within this website. So you can keep track of everything just by going to leet.capital each time. Eventually, if you're trying to even sell your shares in the future, we have a secondary market basically coming up soon. That will also be tracked within the same platform. So once you basically have it registered, let me just walk you through how simple it is to even invest into something. Same thing, go to leet.capital. In this case, you would sign in and then click Invest Now. It will give you an access to a set of deals that are basically running already on our platform. Let's say for this one, Green Lagoon, you will click on More Details to get into the campaign page. And this is where you're going to get all the information about the campaign, being the one-pager, the pitch deck, the term sheet, the agreements, the subscription agreement, whatever that they basically are disclosing, even in terms of their audits, will all be basically listed here at the bottom. And if you are okay with this deal, you click Invest Now. So just a quick highlight in terms of what these numbers mean. So there's a minimum and a maximum raise for each particular campaign. A company would only be able to receive the funds that basically you transfer to them if they hit the minimum. If they do not hit the minimum, then that money will be returned to everyone. Exactly what you put in is what you get back. There's no transaction fees that you basically incur. Monies that basically get transferred while waiting for this campaign to be closed is held in a trust account with us. So therefore, it doesn't go into that issuer's company bank account until we make sure that the campaign closes. And subsequently, there's also a what we call a grace period, right? That cool down period for 6 days. And this is when you can just have that moment of saying, do I really want to do this? If you want to back out right now, that 6 days is the moment you can back out, take your capital, no questions asked. And then we basically close the campaign and the funds get into the issuer itself. In terms of how the company is structured at the back, We use a nominee structure to hold your investments so that their cap table is pretty clean. And we don't see 300 people within their SSM registration itself. All that basically gets held in that SSM cap table would be Leet nominee surrender high. And we have a back-to-back agreement with all the investors that we're holding it on your particular behalf. So once you're sure you want to invest in that, you click invest now. You would basically specify how many lots you want. You acknowledge that. You click confirm. You will be given a unique reference ID. And this is the reference ID that you'll quote when you basically make that transfer via a bank transfer, an online transfer, whatever means you basically need to use. Don't worry about this number. If you forget what this reference number is, a copy will be sent to you via email. It will also be in your dashboard, so you can track back what that unique reference ID was, so we can make sure that we kind of do the reconciliation on our particular backend itself. Once that's done and you basically have transferred that, all your particular investments would be listed on your particular dashboard to see what you've invested before. If you had any exits in the past, it will be under the My Exit section to basically see how much you've been making in the past itself. And that's it. That's how you could easily invest in